Ola CEO Bhavish Aggarwal and comedian Kunal Kamra's ugly spat on social media has left mostly someone saying something, but how must one really read it all? Is it the failure of a homegrown brand to provide services promised to customers, though praised highly for attempting to scale EV companies in India? Or is it an overreaction to public criticism, or criticism in public for that matter, or in between all of this? Well, it started with Kunal Kamra posting a picture of Ola electric scooters gathering dust outside the dealership, presumably while waiting to be serviced. In his response, Bhavish Aggarwal accused the comedian of taking money to share critical posts against the company, that is, paid tweets. Kunal Kamra then went on the offensive and called the Ola CEO an arrogant and substandard individual, to which Bhavish Aggarwal asked the comedian to work at an Ola electric service center, claiming that he would pay him better than whatever his flop shows pay, or the money he would be getting for putting this tweet out. The war of words continued even as Bhavish Aggarwal failed to acknowledge the multiple complaints raised against Ola scooters by harried customers. The argument took a new turn when social media influencer Aditya Shah revealed that Ola Electric had recently approached him for a paid promotion on Twitter, fueling the discussion on the company's marketing strategies, and not just this companies across the sphere. While Kamra's post and the paid promotion claims garnered attention, some industry voices have also shown massive support for Bhavish Aggarwal and the challenges he faces in scaling an EV company in India. Not just this, but politics over Ola's poor customer services with its electric scooters has also come in, with several political parties, including Congress in Kerala, making some allegations about how the homegrown EV company by the name of Ather Energy doesn't get the same kind of a support that Ola does. Well, how should one really look into all of these things? I'm being joined at this point by Sanjay Ghare, who's a CEO for Vervo Tech, and Bejon Mishra, who's a consumer activist. Thank you very much, both of you, for joining us. I'm very sure both of you know what's been happening over the last 48 hours, or roughly so, since yesterday. Now, tell me, Mr. Bejon Mishra, how do you look at this? Is this a response gone wrong? Is this a criticism gone wrong? Or is this just something totally different? How do you look at it? Bejon Mishra, if you can hear me. Well, I think Bejon Mishra is not able to hear us. But Sanjay Ghare, how do you look at what's unfolded?
Sneha, good evening, everyone. I think I look at it, from two different aspects. The one is, what has happened, and second is how Bhavish has reacted to it. So I think, going after wealth creators and job creators should not be encouraged in this country, where the job is the real need. And if you have, seen in the past also, Adani and Hindenburg issue is another example. So as soon as there is anything reported against our business houses, wealth creators, we start pulling them down as the people of this country. So when our prime minister says that, I worry for wealth creators as much as I do for laborers, but that's not reflected in the public sentiment. So I think, that's the first point. You have to understand, an academy by Jews, they have also faced the similar heat. They came up with ideas which were the need of an time during the pandemic, and eventually, ideas also became, I would say, obsolete. And these, you cannot hold these entrepreneurs accountable for solving a problem, or even for trying to solve the problem. So coming to Ola, it's the fact.
Okay,
The
Sanjay
Ola,
Ghere, before you go to your next point, since you have made this point, Sanjay Ghare, since you've made this point, before you go to your next point, let me just ask you something. What do you mean by going after these people? Do you see the statement that Kunal Kamra made? Do you see going after Bhavish Aggarwal? Is that what you're saying? To put in a photograph of scooters that have been put outside the service centers and posting it saying these are, used by people who are working hard through the day, they don't earn much, and putting that photograph out, do you call that going after? And also, I would strongly object to you clubbing with what's happened with Ola in this particular case about how the ugly spat happened to what would have happened with Unacademy or Byju's. I think let's keep this very different. What's happened in these cases are very different. I do not think all of them can be clubbed in together. Wealth creators are welcome, but then there is a whole set of laws and regulations that need to be followed. In the other cases, that was not followed. So let's just stick to what's unfolded here. In this particular context, why are you saying a simple post went after Bhavish Aggarwal?
Sneha, if you heard, what I'm trying to say is, I'm not really, talking about what Kunal Kamra has said. I was trying to highlight because, if what Kunal Kamra has said, if how people are taking it, it really matters to it, right? So what I was trying to highlight is we should not be really, things like this encouraged in the country because, like, I was trying to quote, our honorable Prime
What
Minister.
should not be encouraged? Help me understand. What should not be encouraged?
Yeah, so
People criticizing, like Kunal Kamra going and criticizing what he did, should not be encouraged. Is that what you're saying? Did he
yeah,
say that something that was not supposed to be? Is criticism not to be encouraged? What is not to be encouraged? Help me understand.
absolutely. So so the facts are facts, right? So Ola's monthly complaints have reached 80K, 80,000 a month is the reality. They have dropped from 34% to 31% in the market share is the reality. It's a free market. If enterprise is not doing well and has operational issues, the open market will punish it. But in my opinion, creators picking up the fight on the internet for monetary benefits or social media engagement, whatever, I'm saying this should be looked in isolation. These are the things which should not be encouraged. Products, it's an open market. The customers, consumer will punish when things go wrong. So that's my, one side of things, Neha.
Okay, all right. I think I also have Bijon Mishra, and you've made an important point. There's another aspect, and that's what you've brought out at this point. That's financial gains, vested interests, for which somebody may post on social media. We'll come to that